Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hood, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, and welcome back to the Baseball Hood, and hopefully you like this video, and of course subscribe. Hopefully you like this video, because the last video was not well received by quite a few people. A lot of people watched it, and they were very interested in what I had to talk about. The main topic was Pete Alonso and Vladimir Guerrero, and an offshoot comment, to start the video for 2 minutes talking about Jacob deGrom. I'm not going to discuss Jacob deGrom, why he left, moving forward in any video that's open to the general audience. So what I'm going to do is when I talk about things that I know are going to get people uptight, I will put it in the membership, which is what I did with the video that I posted last night. It is in the membership. So if you want to know what the kerfluffle was, you need to go and you need to become a member of this channel and watch it. I thought it was an excellent video by me, and to be honest with you, and I think a lot of people took it way overboard, but that's my opinion, and I always give my opinion. I'm going to give my opinions on the membership side, so just so you know. But I'm going to get into this thing about deGrom, but let's talk about Pete Alonso. Obviously, the Mets have given him two rather substantial contracts over the last year and a half. I think this last offer, which was 3 years from $90 million, reportedly, I think is more than fair for him, considering his age, considering the slight decline that he's had in his in the last few years. So I don't think that that's out of line, and I think that the Mets he should consider taking that deal. Maybe he can ask them for a fourth year. But to me, I don't think that contract is all that bad. Now, I was going through his numbers, and I want to go through his numbers here for you, so we have a better idea of what we're dealing with this player. And he's a great home run hitter. Also, just so you know, I'll get more into depth into what people have said about Pete on this channel, in particular on the membership side. I think that you need to watch it as members and I'll give you my attitude about it more. I'm not going to give you too much now of it. But let's go through Pete's numbers a little bit. He's got 226 homers in his career. All right. The last 2 years, he's hit 80 home runs. In 6 of his seasons, he's hit 40 home runs 3 times. 40 home runs 3 times. Last year, he drove in 118 runs. This is in 2023. And 88 runs this year. He had a down year with the runs batted in. And the home runs went down. He is the Rookie of the Year in 2019. He is one of the big power hitters in this game. And he had a bit of a dip this year. From 2019 to the middle of 2024, he was the home run leader in front of Aaron Judge. Okay? I know that people have been clamoring for the next Keith Hernandez to be at first base for a long time, and I'll get more into detail of that on the membership side. But this is a guy you cannot lose, okay? Now, he's not an indispensable, this is not an indispensable position. You can improve. There's always improvement. Now, I gave you my opinion on Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on the other video, which got people very uptight, and if you go become a member again, you'll see what I was talking about. And I'll have a video on him, a further video on the membership side, so you'll have a good idea of what I think about him. So I was going through his numbers a lot over the last 12 hours, and not 12 hours, 5 hours, whatever it is, and because I had to sleep. But I'll give you my opinion. He's a good player. I said that in the video. He's a very good player. Where's he going to go? I think I know where he's going to go. I'm not going to talk about it here in the future, where he's going to go after next season. But now we're starting to see more teams are picking up first basemen and first base types. Late last night, Josh Bell, who I mentioned in a previous video, had gotten a contract and went back to the Nationals. He signed a 1-year deal, I guess, for $6 million, and he's now back with the Nationals. So that's another team off the board who originally I thought Pete was going to sign with. Pete's losing teams to go to. Also, From what I understand, and one of my great subscribers, A Prodigy, let it be known to your host, to me, that Susan Slusser, who works for the San Francisco Chronicle, is very good friends with Scott Boras. So she's the one that put out this information that the Giants were interested in Pete. Now, I'm starting to think, we know that Boras uses the media to get his message out. We know he does that with John Heyman. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I didn't know this thing about Slusser doing this for him. So that needs to be discussed here in a big way. And I think we're going to talk about it here. You know, the media are tools, okay? The media are tools. When they will do things like this, they will carry the message for whoever they want to carry it for. So clearly, there's a lot of panic in the Boras camp in terms of where Pete can go. Pete has one place to go, and that's with the Mets. Okay, Pete should be with the Mets. That's how it should be. There's no reason for this sort of staring down contest between the Mets and Pete to continue. He's a great home run hitter. I think the last 2 years have been very difficult based on the fact that one, in 2023, he was dealing with a wrist injury. But even with that wrist injury, he drove in 118 runs. And he had 46 home runs. 504 slugging percentage. All right. 821 OPS. Now, this last year, he had 34 home runs, drove in 88 RBIs. Well, I would say that in 2023, the big reason why his season was such a weird season was because he had that terrible injury to his wrist, that he got hit from that skunk Charlie Morton in May, and that basically killed the Mets season, because after that the Mets had a terrible May. People sort of forget that, which is probably one of the worst months in the history of the franchise, and he was out for 10 days and then he didn't look like the same. It took him a couple of weeks to come back, and I think that's why his average took such a hit. Plus the fact that he had Daniel Vogelbach bat fifth behind him most of that season up until September. So those two factors was a big reason why his numbers were way, way down. Now this year, the reason his numbers have been down, in my opinion, have been because of the pressure, okay, of the contract, because he turned the contract down last All-Star break in 2023, and he didn't sign. And I think because of that, he's doubled down. He's brought in Scott Boras, which is his right. Now, I would mention Scott Boras works for him. He does not work. It's not the other way around. Pete declined the contract in 2023. He did not have Scott Boras as his agent. So this is all driven by Pete. Now, if you were in his position, you would want to sign a big, massive contract. If that was you. And if that was me, I would do the same thing. So, for people to say he's greedy, you'd be just as greedy. And he's trying to make the most money that he could possibly get, because this is probably his big contract for him in his career and for his family. This is where he'll make the big money, because the next contract's not going to do that. But with Pete, I'm not concerned. The one thing I will say about and the last 2 years is that I thought that the bat speed had slowed down. Now, in the postseason, his approach to hitting had changed a little bit. He was hitting the ball to the opposite field, which, thinking back on it, he kind of went away from doing that, and he went back to hitting that ball to right center field, which is a big reason why he hit Devin Williams' home run. I don't care what John Boy says about him tipping pitches. Even if he was tipping pitches, you still have to look for location as a hitter. You still have to be smart enough to know where that pitch is. All right? And he did a good job. A lot of the things with John Boy is, well, I'm not going to get it. I'll mention it in the membership again. We'll get into that a little bit. But again, I want to see Pete come back. I think he has no place to go. He needs to stop with the staring contest. The Mets have given him a contract more than fair. Aside from the home runs were down, but the RBIs was the thing that bothered me the most, because he only had 88 RBIs. To me, that's the biggest issue to me. The strikeouts is not a big deal to me, to be honest with you. His on-base percentage was fine, but really, to me, the biggest issue was the RBIs. That was the thing that was very disappointing. I would mention he's driven in over 100 runs in 3 of his 6 years. So So to me, there's nothing bad about this player. He's not 35 years old. He just turned 30 this month in December. So you let me know what you think about this video. Again, I will have more unfiltered, uncensored talk about the players in a video today about Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Jacob deGrom, and Pete Alonso on the membership site. So you'll get to watch something that nobody else will get to watch. That's why you got to become a member. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.